8:44 now. We're back on Today's Kitchen. We're going back to basics with Italian wine. No one has a deeper love for it than Joe Bastianich. He's considered the foremost authority on Italian wine, and his new book is called Grandi Vini, an opinionated tour of Italy's 89 finest wines. Joe, good to see you. Welcome back.
Matt, how are you?
I'm fine. This love of Italian, Bastianich helps,
right.
but the love of Italian wine started in Queens, New York.
In Queens, where I grew up, in the restaurant world and kind of experiencing going back to Italy with my parents. But, wine was always part of my life.
People talk about French wines, Italian wines, California wines. Is it even possible to answer the question, what makes Italian wines different from the others?
Yes, because Italy is the only country in the world where wine is made everywhere. And every town has their own different wine and their own food. And it's just the diversity of Italian wines, 700 different indigenous varietals and counting. So wine is part of life in Italy.
And the book is really your stories, your experiences with wines. But for our purposes and the book's purposes, you divide Italy up into four regions.
So we start in the south, and then we go to central, and then we go northeast, northwest.
So in the south, we're talking about in the area around Rome.
In the area around Rome and south. This is a wine from Avellino, Fiano di Avellino. Avellino is inland from Naples, and the south is a great part of Italy because it's where the great American migration came from. In 100 years ago, when Italians left the misery of Italy after the war, they came to America from the south, and they brought with them the great culture of Italian-American food and wine.
And what distinguishes the wine from that region in terms of pure taste?
This is a white, crisp wine. It really kind of speaks of the flavors. You would have this with buffalo mozzarella or maybe some coastal seafood with linguine clam sauce.
Or just early in the morning on the Today Show.
Or
works also.
Early in the morning.
Let's go to the area around Florence and talk to me about the wines of this region.
So central Italy, Tuscany for America is Italy. We love it. We love the art. And I think what's important about central Italy is that wine has been made here since 3,000 years ago. So even before the Romans, the Etruscans were making wine. And Chianti Classico is a place. So I think it's important.
Full-bodied wine.
Full-bodied wines, red wines made from Sangiovese grape. But Chianti Classico is a place, and the wine is named after the place.
Not the grape.
Not the grape.
Right.
And that's something very important to understand about Italian wines. It's very geographic specific, and it's the terroir and the climate that gives birth to the flavor of the wine.
And that's delicious. And you would serve that with?
Bistecca Fiorentina. Steak, porterhouse steak, medium rare, with
something
beans,
hearty enough
spinach,
to match the full body of the wine.
Grilled meat.
Okay, we're going to the area around Venice now, so we're over in the northeastern part of Italy.
Where I'm from. White wines. Eastern Italy is interesting because it's kind of where the spice route happens, trade, port cities, white wines that kind of bring us a more Eastern sensibility. It's where Italy looks to Central Europe. And I think wines like Soave, again, Soave is a wine that's named after a town. It's made out of the grape Garganega. This is a Pieropan Soave. And it really kind of speaks to the immediate food culture of this area and the flavors of the Veneto. The Veneto is the region, Venice is the city. This comes from outside of Verona in a town called Soave.
It's delicious also. Let's move to our final region here. Now we're moving to the northwestern part of the country. So we were in Torino not long ago for the Olympics.
And we cooked the steak in the piazza.
Exactly right. Milan is in that region too. We got Barolo's here.
Right, so we're in the Lombardia, Piedmont. This is Barolo, the king of Italian wines. And this area is interesting because it's always had being close to France, it's the wine of kings and a very regal food culture. So Barolo being Italy's certainly most famous red wine, most important, it's kind of the king of Italian wines. Barolo from Piedmont.
Cheers, or salute.
Salute to you,
as
man.
They say. The book is Grandi Vini. Joe Bastianich, thanks.